Hi, in this video, we are going to look at the Evolve and Zoom Metadata Editor that can be used to create metadata taxonomies and create custom metadata schemas with their own set of metadata groups. And within groups, you can have any number of metadata fields. So the topics that we will cover are how to launch the metadata editor. And then once you have the editor launched, how to create new metadata groups within the editor. And then for any metadata groups, we are going to look at all the group attributes that are useful when you are creating a schema. Okay, so in order to get to the metadata editor, you would log into the web admin console. So typically it's the server host name, HTTPS server host name, and typical port is 9443. Once you log in with the admin credentials, and you would need super admin credentials, head over to the system navigation menu, and under that you will find the metadata editor. Click it and you will get to this interface. So the first thing that you would need to do is create a brand new metadata group. So in this particular server, there are many metadata groups that are already there. You can just click on add to add yet another group. And now the most important thing here is group code. So you need to choose a 4-digit group code. So let us say you're creating a group called metadata info, and you can choose any 4-character code like MDIF. It cannot be more than 4 character. But as far as label is concerned, you can define in any label that you like. So like my metadata info, so that's the name of the group. You can choose if the group is editable. Editable, you would probably want to say yes. If you say no, then nobody can go and modify the fields in that group except for automation. The next one is appendable. So this should usually be no. That is used to constrain the metadata group in the UI so that users are not able to add new fields. Now, users can, of course, edit the values in fields, but most likely you don't want any specific staff user other than the media managers to go and add into the metadata group. Then the next one is show in the timeline view. So this is used to control if the metadata field can be used in the time-coded metadata in a video or audio file. So like we mentioned in the overview video, you can have metadata that's at a file level, or you can have metadata that also applies to video. So if you want to have this metadata field be selectable in the video timeline editor, then you would say yes. And then finally, visibility. So this is typically private. If you're using our Zapier plugin to have metadata integration, where any changes to metadata will trigger a zap in Zapier, then you would want to make that metadata field public. Not only the metadata field, you would want to make the entire group public, and that way all those fields in this group would show up in the Zapier app. And similarly with the timeline view, if you make the entire group showing timeline to yes, then all the fields in here would show up in the metadata video time metadata editor. Okay, so once you've added a metadata group, it would show up in here. So for example, I've added edit is the code, editorial information, and you can see whether it's going to show up in the timeline. Visibility by default is off, and so on and so forth.